So today on Underground Oddities, we celebrate 10,000 subscribers. I cannot believe that I've hit this amount. That is unbelievable. Just 7 months ago, I started this channel with 0 subscribers. Now we're at 10,000. Thank you so much. Bit of a different angle here today for this video. We're gonna be doing a Q&A, no reactions. We're just gonna be hanging out and talking. It's probably gonna be a long video. Not doing the 2-camera setup today because if I gotta worry about 2 cameras during this, it's gonna take me forever. I've already delayed this enough. Let's just go. Let's answer some questions. I got like 70 questions on YouTube, a few from my Instagram. I'm gonna try and answer all of them. If I miss your question, just post it again in the comments below and I'll answer you in text form. Or if you didn't get to post a question, and you still wanna ask me something, go ahead and ask in the comments below. And if I see it, I'll answer it. Sorry if I'm not super high energy. It's kind of late. It's very late. It's 3 in the morning. I want to get this video done. Some of the questions I got are kind of similar to each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to group them together so I can answer them all at once if they're kind of similar. You know what I mean? In no particular order, let's start with this question from Avery, who asks, who was the first artist that got you into more experimental music? I feel like there's always a good story there. Also, Jammin asked, what artist got you into underground music? How old were you? And Jay-Z says, I saw that you have some CDs or vinyls of albums like Atrocity Exhibition, The Money Store, and Enter the Wu-Tang. Those are CDs. I don't have any vinyls, actually. What artist got you into weirder, more experimental music? And when did you start listening to a lot of that music? So when I was in high school, I was a very quiet kid, didn't really talk to many people, very introverted, extremely shy, still kind of am, just not as extreme. I didn't feel like I fit in with most people, and I was listening to like radio music and what people around the school were listening to, which was radio music, trendy sort of music. I didn't even know that like underground music existed, really. I had no idea. And then in 12th grade, I had a class with another kid who was pretty quiet, and he's like, have you ever heard of Flying Lotus? I had no idea what that was. He showed it to me. He showed me Fly Low's music, and I instantly was like, what the hell, man? Like, this is some of the coolest stuff I've ever heard. I went home and I did some research into Flying Lotus, and I found out he was a part of this emerging LA beat music scene. And then from there, I found something called the Low End Theory podcast, which was on iTunes. It was like this underground sort of radio music set where each episode of the podcast would be usually 2 artists playing a set back to back. Very beat heavy, electronic beats, grimy rap beats. They'd mix in all kinds of different genres and songs and sounds, where I found so many new artists that I had no idea existed. It was just what I needed at that time of my life. I was in a very dark place. I felt lost, and I didn't even know this kind of music existed. I was very much like an iTunes, well, what's at the top of the charts? What's popular on TV and stuff like that. I didn't really have exposure to underground music back then. So, and through that podcast, I found artists like Sam I Am, Monopoly, No Can Do, Gaslamp Killer, John Wayne, the rapper and beatmaker, not the cowboy, Roz G, who, rest in peace, Roz G, very, very cool artist. He gone way too soon. Marianne Hobbs, DJ Nobody, so many artists I found through this podcast, and it just opened up the doors of like, wait, there is more music out there that is not this mainstream stuff. And it blew my teenage mind, and it changed my life completely. I know this saying gets thrown around a lot, but it really did save my life, and I mean that. It's what I needed, and I didn't know there was that sort of community out there. Many of those podcasts are still online. I think you can still find them on iTunes. They're definitely on YouTube. I looked some of them up, found them on YouTube. Definitely check that out if you're into like weird sort of beat music. It's very cool stuff. So next question, Kermit the Froggo says, I would love to know your favorite song, movie, and video game. And Declan also asked, what is your favorite video game / video game series? I'm a huge Pokemon fan myself. Also, what is your opinion on Pokemon? And if you like it, who is your favorite? Dunsparce is mine. Yeah, I do like Pokemon. I grew up with Pokemon. Yeah, I like Dunsparce, huh? Look at that. Can you see that? Is that picking up in the camera right now? Yeah, I definitely like Pokemon. Some of my favorites are right here in this little tier list. And also Don asked my top 5 or 10 favorite songs, and then asked something about a Discord. I don't know what Discord is. And Oliver says favorite song / artist of all time. Love ya. I love all of you guys, okay? Shouts out to you guys. All right, so let's answer these questions. My favorite movie of all time, and it's not even close. Usually I have a very hard time picking a favorite anything, but for movies, it's not so difficult. Because this movie is something that when I first saw it about 10 years ago, over 10 years ago actually, it totally shook me to my core. It's a psychedelic, mind-melting ghost story that takes place in the neon-drenched underbelly of Tokyo. Gaspar Noé's absolute masterpiece, Enter the Void. I got a poster for it over there. It's in all of my videos. This is my favorite movie of all time. Nothing comes close to this movie. Nothing, in my opinion. Now, the acting in it is not tremendous. So technically it is kind of a flawed movie. However, I don't watch it for the acting. I watch it because it is an experience, and I know movies get that title a lot. Enter the Void truly is an experience. It is hypnotic. It is otherworldly. The cinematography is unlike anything you will ever see in a movie. It is, by the way, it's very explicit. Only watch if you're an adult. This director has no fear of showing you anything. He is out of his mind. He's my favorite director too, by the way. But yeah, I could talk about Enter the Void for hours and hours and hours and hours. I'm not gonna do that right now. I gotta get through a bunch of questions. I gotta hurry up here. So video games. My favorite video game of all time. Now that's harder for me to choose because I have so many that I consider, you know, on different days of the week, I would say, no, this is my favorite. No, this is my favorite. So I'm not going to just pick a favorite. I'm going to say a bunch of favorites. I'm sorry. I can't, it's a bit of a cop out, but I'm just, I can't pick a favorite here. This is just too, no, I really can't. I really can't. So here's some of my favorites. These are all tied for first place. Okay. Dark Souls 1, Trackmania Turbo, Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Yes, Oblivion, not Skyrim. I actually kind of don't like Skyrim, but I love Oblivion. It's because I grew up with it. It's mostly nostalgia. I know that it's janky. I know it's ridiculous. I love it though. Resident Evil 4, amazing game. Red Dead Redemption 2 definitely would be up there. Zelda Wind Waker, it's my favorite Zelda game. Silent Hill 2, Resident Evil 2 Remake. Shouts out to old school RuneScape. I mean, I put like thousands of hours into that. It has to be up there with my favorites. I mean, I just love it. I'm not going to deny it. Does Pokemon Go count? Because I've put in many hours into that. I mean, I've been playing it basically every day. Actually, I have been playing it every day since it came out. That's like 5 years of, I don't even want to know the amount of hours. That is, I just started sweating. And my favorite video game series of all time is the Souls games, Dark Souls 1, 2, 3. Yes, even the second one I like. Zelda is a very close second. All right, so my favorite song of all time. I would say, now this is going to be a weird choice. It's going to be probably not expected, but it's not an underground artist. It's not even a very weird song. It's pretty well known. It was in Breaking Bad one time. Gnarls Barkley's song, Who's Gonna Save My Soul Now? The original version of that song is fantastic. Amazing song. But my true favorite song is actually a live performance version of that song. It only exists on YouTube. It has a little MSN logo in the corner. I'll leave a link to it or show a little screenshot of it or something so you can know which one I'm talking about. His performance there is so soulful. It is heartbreaking. And since Dawn asked for a top 5 favorite songs, here's like more than 5. Let's see, let's give a bunch more, not just 5. Send 'Em to the Essence, Lil Ugly Mane, Distant Lights, Burial, Come Up and Get Me by Death Grips, Tomorrow Comes Today by Gorillaz, fantastic song. Now, these are all great. I don't gotta say that. New Love by Sewer Slut, Die Like a Rock Star by Danny Brown. That is just I mean, talk about well-written classic. Man. Humming by Portishead, and Golden Diva by Flying Lotus. And my favorite artist of all time, guess what? I can't pick one. Again, it's gonna be a 3-way tie. These are all of my favorite. Number 1 placement, 3 different artists: Lil Ugly Mane, Flying Lotus, and Burial. Love those artists. I am never gonna pick one over the other. I just can't do it, man. Too indecisive. So the next question comes from Hushy Beats, who is a longtime supporter of the channel. Shouts out to Hushy Beats. Go give Hushy Beats a sub on YouTube. Hushy says, what got you started making videos reacting to underground artists? Was there any big reason, or just because you enjoy it? Also, I love your channel. Keep digging for the underground gold that most people wouldn't otherwise. Thank you for the support, Hush. I chose the underground oddities niche because it's what I'm the most passionate for. I love the underground. I love weird artists. I love weird songs. And, you don't typically get that kind of weird experimental stuff in the mainstream. The underground is much more capable of making that kind of music because it doesn't, oftentimes it doesn't have that label restriction hanging over it. And when it comes to reaction content on YouTube, at least from what I've seen, now I honestly don't watch much of it, but from the channels that I have seen, it seems like most people who make this kind of content, they react to the biggest artists, the newest, biggest song from the biggest artists. And that's fine. I got nothing against that kind of channel. I mean, make your money. But for me, the underground is where all the most interesting content comes from. I mean, whether it's music or movies or any type of art form, really. So this next question comes from The Real Sun Moon, who says, what are some of the strangest songs you've ever listened to? So the first thing that comes to mind instantly for me is the weird noise experimental stuff that comes out of Japan, like Merzbow or Merzbow. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Very, very interesting music. I mean, you want to clean your ears out, put some nice headphones on and turn them up pretty high. I won't say fully, but 90%, and just throw on a Merzbow record, cause that'll clean your ears out pretty quick. It's very cool stuff, very nice textures and sounds. But some other things that come to mind too are like William Basinski's The Disintegration Loops. Very, very cool stuff. Very haunting. Very depressing. Very cool. Earl Sweatshirt, East. I mean, come on. If you're into underground hip hop, you've heard that song, right? The video on YouTube, the comment section for that, oh my god, dude. That is the funniest comment section on the internet by far. If you have not seen that, go over there, listen to the song, and read the comments, because I cry laughing when I see that. And another artist that comes to mind, not a specific song really, but DJ Roswell makes very weird stuff. The videos are haunting and strange, and just if you're into weird, go check some DJ Roswell out. You'll have a fun time. All right, this next question comes from Wildside, who asks about some of my favorite animes. When it comes to anime, I'm not really a big anime show guy. I'm more of an anime movie fan. Like Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball I grew up with. I used to wake up early as hell in the morning to watch Dragon Ball. Love that show to death. Dragon Ball Z is cool too. I don't know, the adventure aspect of Dragon Ball was so cool. Also One Punch Man if you're looking for something more modern. But when it comes to movies, man, anime movies are awesome. Satoshi Kon, Perfect Blue, man. Paprika. But my favorite anime movie, and it's not even close, is Spirited Away. I know that it's like a generic cliche pick, but it's just so good. I can't deny that it's so good. It's one of my favorite movies. I mean, forget genre. Spirited Away is one of my favorite movies ever. I also love Akira. Akira is a masterpiece, and so is Ghost in the Shell. Also, Boo Boo asks, what's my favorite anime OST? And says, love your channel so much, and your commentary is so amazing and soothing. I really appreciate that, Boo Boo. But my favorite anime OST is Spirited Away. The Spirited Away soundtrack. Now that's amazing and soothing. Alright, so this next question comes from Comic Wool, who says, please tell me what your setup is, since your first video, which for most people are bad, your video and audio quality has been amazing. Well, thank you for that. So my microphone is an Audio-Technica 4033A. I record into Adobe Audition. This camera here is a 1DX Mark II. Usually I have a 50mm lens on the front. Usually I've got this lens on this camera, but right now there's a wide angle lens on it. It's a 24mm L lens. And my other camera I use for my wide angle shot is a 5D Mark II. Usually has this lens that you're seeing through right now on it, but a lot of expensive cameras. That's why I didn't start off with potato quality. So Organized Chaos says, what's your opinion on mainstream music since you do underground stuff? And if you like mainstream, then what artists? Also, opinion on Minecraft and Twitch streamers. So I liked Minecraft back in the day when it first, right around when it came out, when things were more unknown about it. And you know, it wasn't too complicated. I don't understand like the enchantment stuff that happens now, or the potions really. The old school Minecraft, you know, the X's Adventures in Minecraft days. That's when I played it. That's when I liked it. And Twitch streamers, yeah, they're cool. I mean, I follow a few of them. I don't really watch things live. I usually will watch VODs. But I like some speedrunners. I like people who do challenge runs of games. It's always fun to watch. But mainstream music, yeah, I do like mainstream music. I'm not one of these like underground hipsters who's like, I won't listen to anything with more than 1,000 views. You know, I'm not like that, man. I like what I like. You know, usually stuff I hear on the radio is not great, but like the big artists online, Spotify, YouTube, some of them I really like. I mean, like, I like Drake. I like Kanye, Kendrick Lamar, A$AP Rocky, Tyler the Creator, Joji, Post Malone, Doja Cat. I love Doja Cat. Radiohead. Is Radiohead still mainstream? So Lightway, another prolific commenter on the channel, always see that name everywhere. Shouts out to Lightway. Lightway says, why are you so hot? I'm not. I'm just not, dude. Don't lie to me, please. This next question comes from Chinook. I'm sorry if that's not how that's pronounced. Just let me know in the comments if I said that wrong. Chinook actually has 4 questions. Do you have tattoos? What do you enjoy doing in your free time? What are your favorite music genres? Are you religious? Tattoos? I don't have a single one. Not yet. I do want one. I'm so indecisive. I struggle to settle with an idea and commit to it. I struggle to commit to most things, actually. Very difficult thing for me to do. I love the art form of tattoos. Tattoos are so cool. I really want to get one. I have a few ideas of things I want to get. I just haven't got one yet. Soon though, maybe. Probably soon. I just need to get one. I need to stop being a baby and just go decide to get one. It's just hard for me to choose. It's hard for me to decide, yep, this for the rest of my life. I want that on my arm. Yep. It's like wearing the same shirt for the rest of your life, kind of, in a way, you know? I could never do that. I mean, I could probably do that. What do you enjoy doing in your free time? I love watching movies. I like playing video games. I like petting my dog. I like petting my cat. I like listening to music. That's obvious. I also enjoy, like, you know, a little bit of overthinking things and being anxious and all that, you know? Also do a little bit of depression in my free time. quite a bit. My two favorite like main genres of music are rap and electronic, and all of the subgenres that fall beneath those two genres. And I also like a bit of metal, a bit of new wave, a bit of blues, but the main two are rap and electronic. And am I religious? No, not at all. Nothing against religious people. I just don't think I could commit my life to any of the religions that I know of. Religions have cool ideas sometimes, like the Tibetan Book of the Dead. Again, I got no problem with people who are religious. That's fine. All right, next question comes from Svan Technical. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, but what's your favorite strain of weed? Also, will there be a Discord? I'm actually not a huge weed guy. I know that may seem crazy. I mean, I do partake very rarely, and when I do, I'm not picky. I don't really care what strain it is. But I do prefer sativa over indica. I mean, look, I feel high 24/7, so I don't really need another substance to add to it. I really just feel out of it all the time, every day, all day. Don't know why that is, but. And Discord, look, I've got so many questions about Discord, and the truth is, I don't really know much about that platform, and the idea of starting a server and having people join the server kind of, like, I have no idea how it even works, so it kind of freaks me out to think, like, you know, I'd have to make sure everything is perfect, and I don't know how it works at all. I've just never been someone who's been on Discord. I kind of just missed that wave, and I always see people talking about it. I always see people, asking me to start one, and I'm just like, I don't even know what it is. And sometimes I hear, kind of negative things about it. I hear that it can lead to some serious drama within communities, like power struggles, like Game of Thrones style stuff. People go crazy on Discord sometimes with power and like who's a moderator and who's not and who's, but maybe it's fine. I don't know. I just don't know how to use it. Maybe one day I'll make one. I'm not sure when or if, but maybe if there's enough demand for it, maybe. Do you ever plan to make music? I think you'd be really good at it. Well, that's very nice of you. I appreciate that. Phoenix is a bird says, have you ever tried making your own music? If so, what genre? Maori, who, I'm sorry if that's Maori or Mori, I'm not sure how to say that. Another very big supporter of the channel. Go give Maori a sub. Have you ever wanted to make music yourself? If so, what type of music would you make? And Lil Lalago says, do you make your own music or have you thought about it? Yeah. Not only have I thought about it, I've been making music for years. I just haven't really posted it anywhere, and it's just been kind of like a little hobby thing that I do on my own. I'm self-taught completely. I just mess around in FL Studio. And to answer the question of what genre, I usually make rap beats or electronic stuff. Yeah, it's something I find really, it's a fun thing to do, even though I don't know what I'm doing half the time. Like, I have no idea how to mix or master stuff. I don't know any musical theory, but like I said, I just kind of mess around. If you want to hear something I made, I've snuck a few beats into my videos before. If you want to check out one of them, the end of my Black Hand Path video, at the very, very end, there's a little snippet of a beat that I made where I threw Lil Ugly main vocals on top of it. If you want to just hear something that I made. Osmodeus guy says, why do you look like Jack Harlow is what I'm wondering. I mean, look, I'm a white guy with blue eyes and curly hair. I guess that's Jack Harlow. Gunfades asks, why you kind of look like Obama? Okay, I don't, dude. I mean, I guess that's a compliment. He's a good looking dude, right? I guess that's a compliment. I don't see it at all, but okay. An angel asks, how... OnlyFans at 1 million subs. How about that? Lucas says, what do you drive, homie? You into the car scene at all? Love your stuff, bro. For real, one of my favorite YouTubers already. I really appreciate that, man, but I hate to let you down. I'm not really a car guy at all. I do like some cars. I like old muscle cars, but I don't own one. I don't own any car, for that matter. I'm one of those guys that like lives in an urban setting and says, you know, I don't need a car, everything's close by. It's just how it is for me. But I'm not one of those obnoxious people that goes around, you shouldn't have a car, it's, you know, I'm not gonna tell people that. Cars are cool. I just don't own one, and I don't really have an urge to get one. I'm sorry if I let you down, Lucas. Lightweight with another question. All right, what do you got, Lightweight? Do you believe anything you do in life will ever matter, or will it be drowned out by the 7.5 billion others on this earth that may be able to possibly do something more meaningful on a more substantial scale? 5:40 in the morning thoughts. And also, Arn said, do you find what you do here on YouTube meaningful? So here's the thing. I'm a bit of a nihilist. I don't really believe in true meaning. I think everyone has their own personal meaning to life, but there's no definitive meaning. The meaning to my life, though, is to not worry so much and to be happy and just comfortable and treat people with kindness, and try not to focus on what might bring negativity into my life. There's not enough time in someone's life, you know, to be worrying about stuff that bothers you or annoys you or upsets you. The stress of worrying about that stuff can literally kill you if you just let it feed on your psyche. Will this YouTube channel have some sort of larger meaning down the road? I don't think it's going to change the world, but I think that if someone, you know, can laugh at something funny I say, or learns of a new artist that might inspire them in some way, or even distracts you away from your worries on a lousy day, that all just rhymed for some reason. I think if my content can do that for anybody, I've succeeded. That's all I want. I just want to entertain and to make people laugh and show people some cool artists. That's it. What more do I need, really? I'm not worried about others, you know, doing more meaningful things than me. I mean, let them. Being meaningful in this world is hard work. I'm just not cut out for that. I'm gonna just chill here and watch YouTube videos. Mr. Scuffed says, more dog. All right, look, here's some more dog. We good? All right. Leland says, if you had to live the rest of your life as a fruit, which fruit would you be and why? Probably a coconut. So I could be on like a tropical island somewhere, secluded, nice weather, blue skies, blue ocean, the waves coming in and out all day and all night, the swaying wind, the stars at night shining bright, all quiet except for nature's sounds. It'd be nice until, you know, someone shakes me out of a tree and dices me up with a machete, but... TYC Bubbles asks, what's your favorite place to pass time, or I guess favorite hangout spot to just kick it and relax at? Shouts out to TYC Bubbles. Dude's a Twitch streamer. Go check him out on Twitch. Go give him a follow. Go give him a sub. Is that what they do over there? Subs and follows? Follows and subs? Go give him one or both of those. That'd be cool. But to answer your question, being an introvert, my favorite place to be is at my house. In my home where I'm comfortable. So Biako asks, what's the most embarrassing thing you do or have done? Well, being hypercritical of myself means virtually every single thing I do is embarrassing to me eventually. So when you perpetually live in a state of embarrassment, it's kind of hard to like single out a specific thing. But like one thing that does come to mind, and it has to do with this channel. Early on, I got a very, very nice DM from an artist that I covered, a very big artist. I'm not going to say who because I don't want to get into like, you know, private DM stuff. I'm not that kind of person. But they messaged me and I didn't check my messages on Instagram for literally months after that. And as soon as I saw the message, I replied, but I didn't get another message back after that. I deserve it. I'm a big dumb idiot. If you're watching this, the artist who sent me a DM, I'm sorry that I did not ignore you, man. I totally would have not ignored you. I'm such an idiot, man. AXS Fortnite team says, how old are you? Well, Sonny, I was born way back in the year 1992. I'm ancient. What is your favorite song from the 90s or 80s? Also, how many pets have you owned over the years? What animals are they? Favorite 90s song, I'm just going to say, before I think of too many and I can't pick one, I'm just going to say Bring the Ruckus by Wu-Tang Clan. 80s song, The Killing Moon by Echo and the Bunnymen. And as for pets in my lifetime, I've had one dog being my most recent pet and like 7 cats or something like that. I think it's 7. Yeah, it's about 7. I also had a snake once, and snake was cute. This question comes from just some chupacabra with internet access, and they said, what did you used to do before this channel, or what's your job? And Rockastorm Gaming says, what were you doing before YouTube? So before and currently, because YouTube doesn't exactly pay bills, you know, making like $80 a year, I work as a freelance photographer. I do a lot of video work for people, multimedia editor, you name it. Papa Mech, very familiar name around here, says, are you concerned at all that some T1000 will be coming for you in the possible near future? If not, I will be for you after that roast of FNMEKA. Shouts out to Papa Mech. If Robert Patrick like liquid metals himself through my window and dices me up with a giant sword arm, I'm not even gonna be mad. And hey man, I may have roasted FNMEKA, but I did give him kudos at the end. I said he was kind of cool. It was a cool project, okay? I said I want to hear more from him, more personal stuff. Don't kill me. Ryan9Flocks, I think that's how that's pronounced, asked who is my favorite member of Spider Gang. All right, look, this is extremely tough because I like all of them, but you know, if I'm gonna say my 3 favorite, and it's gonna be in alphabetical order. So A14, MK Ultra, and of course the small dark one. I mean, that's obvious. Nathan1 says, what are your thoughts on record labels and the effects of joining one? Artist creativity and effort, etc. And PS, react to Haylog coincidence and welcome to the end featuring Super Person. Love your YouTube, heart. Thank you, Nathan. I'll make note of those recommendations. But record labels and the effects of joining one. I mean, the thing is like, I've never done it personally, so I don't have like first-hand experience. Although I do know that a lot of artists complain about joining, especially major labels, because you sign over to things that you see a big dollar sign and you're like, okay, yeah. But you don't read like the super small fine print that's written in like size 2 font where it says like, we own you. It's a very tricky thing. If you ever sign a deal, make sure you read everything and like get a lawyer to read over everything, because a lot of artists end up regretting signing. A lot of restrictions on your artistic vision when you sign over. But you know, there's obviously positives to it too. I'm not gonna fully say it's the worst thing ever. No Life Lad says, what are your favorite illustrators? Also love the videos, man. I look forward to every upload. Thank you, lad. I appreciate that. My favorite illustrators, probably Junji Ito. I mean, his art is just incredible. Nightmare fuel. Love it. Does Miyazaki count? He's an illustrator, right? Those come to mind. If you're looking for something like more classical illustrations, like old school, old stuff, like Gustave Doré is one of my favorite artists ever. Blank said, what is your favorite childhood movie? Hercules. The Goofy movie. The first Toy Story. Terminator 2. Dills asks, what's your favorite album of all time and what is one of your life goals? So my favorite album of all time is one I have on my wall, Flying Lotus, Los Angeles. It's a mostly instrumental album. It's like experimental beats, super cool album. I can listen to this thing over and over, front to back. I've been doing that for well over a decade now at this point. It's a very trippy experience. Feels like a dark odyssey through space and time. And it's especially good record too if you partake in a little, you know, Flying Lotus, Los Angeles. And one of my life goals, I want to make a movie one day. I really want to write and direct a movie. I think I could make something pretty crazy. TP Viking asks, do you have a personal playlist? I love your content. Thank you, Viking. And Crow asked a similar question. Are you planning on creating a Spotify playlist with your favorite songs that you've reacted to? But yeah, I do have a public playlist on Spotify of a bunch of music I like to listen to sometimes. It's not everything I listen to, but it's a nice amount. The link will be in the description below. Also, if you want, you can go follow me on Spotify. The Corinthian says, "How are you doing, baby?" Easter Island head. I'm doing good now that you showed up with your Uzumaki display picture. Nice. Just talking about Junji Ito. That's perfect. Dark 420 Tides asks, how did you get such a cool stash, man? I've never had anyone call this thing on my face cool before. But thanks for validating my facial hair. How did I get it? Lots of coffee? Maybe? Scratch Therapy asks, how much water do you drink in a day? Probably not enough. Definitely not enough. So Megan asks, what has been your favorite part or favorite moment so far since creating this channel? And which has been your favorite artist to cover, if you could even choose one? And who is someone that you would really want to cover that no one has requested? So those are some good questions. My favorite moment since making Underground Oddities has been the reception I've gotten from you guys. Whether it's the super nice comments I get under videos, the amazing suggestions, the kind Twitter DMs I get on the daily. I've basically created a community here, and the community is filled with the coolest people who just love strange music and are just so friendly. I've been sent so many artists that I would have never found on my own, and as a music lover, that's such a cool thing to have. My favorite artist that I've covered so far, it's probably Black Hand Path. You know, shouts out to Meat Chip for sending me that suggestion. It's one of the craziest suggestions I've ever gotten. And someone I really want to cover that nobody, at least from what I've seen, has asked, is Lil Ugly Mane, my favorite artist. I just gotta wait for his album to drop because I've listened to literally everything that man's made over 1 million times. So Daniel Wilbur says, how underground is too underground? Would you react to something with less than 100 views? Honestly, yeah, I would. If the artist is strange or unique, and I think they'll provide me with enough to talk about in a video about them, I don't care if they have 3 views. The view count, as long as it's not in the hundreds of millions or billions, it doesn't really matter to me. There's absolutely no such thing as too underground for this channel. Having a music video helps. That's all the criteria. Thomas Roll says, favorite memory from childhood. Aside from like personal family things, just like playing certain video games for the first time. I know it's like a nerdy answer, but it's true. Seeing HD consoles for the first time, like the jump from PS2 to PS3, Xbox to Xbox 360, blew my mind. Like, I didn't know it could look, back then, I didn't know it could look real. It looked real to me. Perfect Dark on 360. Speaking of video games, Infinity JKA asks, GameCube or Dreamcast? GameCube. Absolutely GameCube. I was a Nintendo kid growing up, man. Wind Waker, Monkey Ball, Melee, Double Dash, Mario Sunshine, killer console. Love that console. I still got it here with me. It lasted with me all these years. I don't know if it still works, but this thing is just, it's a legendary console. Mart1 says, why did you open this channel, and for how much money would you create a secondary channel about underground? Thanks for the question, Mart. I started this channel because of all the lockdowns that were happening. This last almost 2 years of just like lockdowns, not being able to leave your house and all this crazy stuff. I was like trapped in my house and I'm like, I don't know when this is gonna end. Why not just start a YouTube channel that I can like shoot from like in my house? And that's what I did. I was kind of bored and I thought, well, why not? Let's just see what happens. 10,000 subscribers later. And as for your idea for a secondary channel about that, it sounds interesting. Although that would definitely be too explicit for YouTube, right? Probably have to be some like Patreon thing. If I were to ever do something like that, it would be kind of funny though. Cy Myers says, do you find motivation a struggle sometimes? If so, how do you push forward? Love you, Ray. Edit. Sorry, I meant Roy. No worries, Sai. It's all good. Yeah, finding motivation is often a struggle in my daily life. It's a constant battle. You know, many things going on up here can affect that negatively. The way to push forward, for me at least, is to not put so much pressure on myself. Ultimately, this life thing isn't all that serious. There's serious things you got to deal with sometimes, but most things that get in your way are probably just you overthinking things. That's how it is for me. When I say you, I mean me. I'm talking about, anyway, you know what I mean. I do this all the time, especially with my anxiety and various paranoias. It's just, if you feel more free, you'll have less stress hanging over you, and the motivation will just like naturally show itself. And that's how it works for me, at least. It might not work for everyone, but Kiwi asked a question here that when I saw it, I didn't want to just leave it for however long it would take for me to make this video. So I answered their question as soon as I saw it. So I'll read both the question and the answer here. Their question was, what's the best advice you can give about sadness? I don't want to get all emotional, but my grandma and my cat died recently, and my life hasn't been the same without them. And this is what I said below. I'm sorry for your losses, Kiwi. It's a very difficult thing to deal with. I lost my cat last year in tragic circumstances, and he was very young. It's something that hit me hard, and I still feel to this day. Dealing with losses is soul-crushing, and there's no easy answer. But I will say that time heals some of the pain. The scar will always be there, but it will heal over time. I like to reminisce about family and friends I've lost, keeping their energy alive in my head, in spirit. I like to think they'll always be with you in that sort of way. I hope my reply helped you, Kiwi. Again, I'm very sorry for your losses. It's a very tough thing, losing people or pets, but it's something we all face at some point. Yeah, it's a very difficult thing. There's no easy answer, unfortunately. Produced by SF says, any plans for a podcast featuring artists you've reacted to? Any plans to make a live stream for interaction with fans? Love you, bro. Thank you. I've thought about doing a podcast sometime in the future. I have no idea how that would work. I've never really done an interactive style of content before like that, whether it's interviewing a person or live stream talking to fans. I mean, I'll be honest, live stream stuff kind of freaks me out a lot. I'm someone who completely exists online through editing. Many hours of editing. Without editing, I probably sound like a raving lunatic. But yeah, I would definitely like to make a podcast in the future. Every Day is Pain says, future plans for the show, any co-hosts or expanding the production team. Finally, someone is making actually good stuff on the underground scene. Much love. Thank you so much, Pain. I really hope that every day is not pain, actually, for you, but I do appreciate your kind words. I do have ideas about how I'd want to expand this channel. Different kinds of content. I'd love to involve some people I know in real life at some point. You know, I do have friends that are into the music scene, but they all have their own lives and their own jobs, so who knows when that'll happen, if that'll happen. But I definitely do have some cool ideas that I hope will be made eventually. Trash Cat asks, what did you have for breakfast this morning? Coffee. Idiotic Eskimo says, would you ever want to host a Twitch or Patreon? I'd surely participate in those if it meant more of your music opinions. That's so cool for you to say, Eskimo. A Patreon is much more likely than a Twitch at this point. Like I said, live stuff trips me out. Not saying it's completely off the table, but I just don't know when that would happen. I don't know what I'd even do on Twitch anyway, like play Fortnite in a mediocre fashion. But yeah, Patreon would be cool. I'm kind of unsure what I'd want to provide to you guys on Patreon. I'd want to make sure that it's worth it and like good. You know, I'd want to make sure the content is good that people pay for. It'd have to be. I mean, I'm not starting a Patreon unless I got good content for you guys. I'm not trying to, you know, make you pay for nothing. Any advice that you would give to any small rappers to become bigger? If you want to see success as an artist, now keep in mind, I'm not a successful artist, but I've seen a lot of artists come up and make it over the years, so I've taken some mental notes. And this should be at the core of your artistic endeavor. Be yourself and make the music that you want to hear. Do not try and impress your friends. Do not try and impress your family. Do not try and mimic another artist because you see other people celebrating that artist, you have to focus on that. Now, obviously you could just, you know, ride waves and make music like other artists, but if you want to stand out, you gotta be unique. And yeah, you do that by being you, because no one else in this world can be you, and that should excite you. You know, make the music you want to hear. That should be the only person you try and please as an artist. Make stuff you want to listen to, because eventually people will find that music and they'll be like, yeah, I like this, because they'll have, you know, you'll be on the same wavelength type thing. Now, as for getting big, like metrics, you know, like big numbers and stuff, that's extremely difficult. It is. I mean, but as long as you don't give up, you have a higher chance of that happening. I think that connecting with other artists is a good move, because the more people you know, the more likely you'll get more people to see what you're doing, you know? I will say this though, if you're trying to grow, do not spam your music everywhere. Like, don't reply to every tweet with your music links. People might find that annoying. But like, a lot of people use Instagram and TikTok to expand and get more listeners, so maybe utilize those platforms somehow. Ryan Hembold says, do you ever punish yourself? Yeah, every time I look in the mirror. L. Jackson on Instagram says, do you have any ideas for non-music related content? Yeah, I do, and I kind of want to make another channel, a secondary channel for stuff like that, whether it's like let's plays or like random vlog type stuff, or just kind of like a YouTube page where I can just like dump random content that isn't necessarily music or reaction related stuff. I'll let you guys know when that's up, if that does end up happening. That's probably going to happen soon, if that does happen. I swear, this whole video is me being like, yeah, eventually, maybe, probably, certainly, probably, maybe, eventually, one day. So I got another question here from Instagram from Pascal Wager, who says, where are you from? He also said, big love from Germany. Thanks, man. Shouts out to Germany. I'm from a place that's known to be pretty cold, even though most of the time it's not really. A land of sprawling mountains, coastal regions, forests that spread infinitely, big cities filled with friendly people, small desolate towns that are also filled with friendly people, the home of Kenny vs. Spenny, the Trailer Park Boys, Tom Green, Drake, Jim Carrey, Seth Rogen, Keanu Reeves, Ryan Gosling, Mac DeMarco, Beavers, Maple Syrup, All Dressed Chips, Coffee Crisp, Poutine, Tim Hortons. I mean, if it's not obvious by now, I'm from Canada. Shouts out to Canada. If you're from Canada and you're watching this, I drop a Canadian flag emoji. I just want to know. I want to see where my fellow Canadians are at. This next question is also from Instagram. Kevin Maria says, what's your favorite song you've reacted to so far? It's probably the clowncore songs / videos. I had so much fun making that video. That's one of my favorite things that I've edited together. I love that video. Final question I'll be answering today in this video is from Banana Manatee on YouTube, who says, have you ever grown a tree just to taste the roots? It's a spiritual awaken. One day soon you'll really need to look at your face and then your dog's face and then lay in a tall grass field at night and deep breath and inhale the wisdom of the world. But who's your favorite artist of 2021? Makhami. Thank you so much for watching this super long Underground Oddities 10,000 subscribers special. I want to thank you all for being so supportive of this channel, and thank you to everyone who left comments. If I missed your comment somehow, which I apologize for if I did, I'm just so scatterbrained, completely unorganized mess of a human being. My brain just doesn't let me be as efficient as I want to be always, but if I did miss your comment, drop it again below in the comment section here and I'll reply to you. I'll answer your question in text form. If you have comments and you missed out on this thread thing that I did and you want to ask me something right now, go ahead and drop that also below. I'll answer your question if I see it. I'm going to try and answer as many as I can if you got them. But yeah, thanks again everyone. the greatest community I've seen on the internet. Am I biased on this? Absolutely. But it still remains true. Keep being awesome. And let's continue on together through this strange musical journey that we're on here. Take care, everyone. I'll see you next time, hopefully.